So I did have my first novel published this past April. I think I was up here this summer, to talk about that. I was pleased. I was real happy to get my first novel published, but my mom was especially pleased. Not so much that I published my first novel, but that I have the same publishing house as the Pope. My mother is Polish, and this gave her certain bragging rights in the family. And actually, it looked for a while, like last summer, that the Pope and I were going to tour. Because he got, a lot of money. He got like $6 million for his book a couple of years back, and it didn't do as well as they'd hoped, and they couldn't sell the movie rights, which Arnold Schwarzenegger bought. Okay. Can you see Clint Eastwood as the Pope? Are you feeling lucky today, Bishop? But so my publishing house was after the Pope last spring to write this real quickie kind of self-help beach book for young Catholic men. But the Pope wasn't in the best of health, so he didn't do it. And I think he's got it ready for this summer, so we made a tour. I got the galleys, or at least in advance, and I was reading it about 2 nights ago. It's kind of interesting. It's real quick read. It's a thing called "I'm Okay, You're Excommunicated." And Random House Knopf goes through a lot of dough and promotion. I saw the tour jackets, which are really cool. It's like these navy satin tour jackets, and in gold lettering, it's like John Paul and Bill, 1977. So I think it should happen. I don't know if we're going to share a tour bus or something. I'll have to teach the Pope how to trash a hotel room. No, Your Holiness. You take the TV this way out the window. Yeah, but he got $6 million for his book. Newt Gingrich got like $4 million for his. But the Pope got to keep his. Which I always thought was kind of nice. It's a weird thing touring, because you see weird stuff all the time. Excuse me. I was in a motel in Pennsylvania last week, and I was watching one of those late night, it was one of those 60s cable stations where all they'd show are TV shows from the 60s. And I was watching The Addams Family after a gig. I was having a little drink, watching The Addams Family, and looking at the kid who played Pugsley, going, whatever happened to that kid, And then the Addams Family show ended, and I turned on CNN, and there was Newt. I just want to read you this short, painless thing from my book. I'm supposed to do this. People tell me to do it, so I'm going to do it. The book's called Edson, and this is the part where I feel old. I feel like a cross between Ben Franklin and Buddy Holly with these things. What?
Is that something?
Oh, this isn't Dickens. Well, it's the same sort of cheeriness. But this is the second paragraph of the book. This takes place in a New Hampshire mill town. And this fellow, Henry Corvine, the hero of the book, has moved back, divorced. He doesn't to this town he used to live in. And now he's just driving back to town after being in the White Mountains. And the first snowstorm of the year has hit. Henry Corvine followed the tire grooves in the snow on the looping 2-lane that led into Edson, alternately gassing and letting up on the accelerator to keep his 15-year-old Chevy from fishtailing. When it came to a straightaway, he took his hands off the wheel to see if the car would stay in the grooves by itself, but it wouldn't. He eased up on the gas as he took hold of the wheel again and guided the big sedan back on track. At the town line, his headlights flashed on a statue of the Blessed Virgin set up on a knoll between the road and the Edson River. Keeping her back to the town, she greeted each oncoming car with her palms open at her sides, her shoulders hiked in a permanent shrug as if to say, "Welcome to Edson. It's not my fault." car chases and stuff, and you'll really like it. You can get it at Bookland. What the heck?
Are you working on another one?
Yeah, I'm about 75 pages into another one. There's a lot less smoking and drinking in my second one. I had every single character is like smoking in this first book because I was on the patch. I couldn't believe it. I was had popping Nicorettes and just, Well, the patch is cool because it's it's like at 3 stages. The first stage is like a pack and a half a day. And, I got that, and I wanted to, go. Yeah, it's flesh-colored, hey. I'm Bill, I quit. Want to hear some Woody Guthrie? And then, you do that for a month, then you go back to, a smaller patch, and that last patch is, so hard to roll. But if you're thinking of quitting, that's a good way to do it. That or just get on heroin. Because then, when you're not out, if you have a cigarette, you'll probably burn the house. This is one I haven't sung in a while, so I'm always kind of curious to see if I remember it. Can you hear this guitar? Is this happening? Yeah. Okay, just checking. Okay, don't rush me. I'm very sensitive. I've been long gone from the stage to the highway to the night grill, and everywhere I went, time just stood still. And in every town, it all went down the same. I've been long gone. And every dream was the dream that you'd still want me. In every motel room, your brown eyes would just haunt me. And in every town, I called out your name. And I've been long gone, set loose again to chase another payday, knowing if I could just hold you, I'd be okay. Tell me you still love me one more time. There was nothing on the highway, there was nothing but the wind, and I couldn't look ahead, I could just see where I've been. From Hartford down to Tampa, Duluth to Malibu, I ran every trick, I told any lie just to get on home to you. I've been long gone, now I'm standing in the doorway of your front hall. Ain't this better than a letter or a phone call? Tell me you still love me one more time. I've been long gone, well, I'll pack my bags and throw away the suitcase. Let me know it's true. Let me just touch your face. Tell me you still love me one more time. And I've been long gone. Hey, true love always comes as a surprise. Can you see your reflection in my eyes? Tell me you still love me one more time. There was nothing on the highway, there was nothing but the wind, and I couldn't look ahead, I could just see where I've been. From Hartford down to Tampa, Duluth to Malibu, I ran every trick, I told any lie just to get on home to you. I've been long gone, and those nights alone were almost too much to bear. Throw your arms around me and just keep them there. Tell me you still love me one more time. believe I sang it last night. I can't believe I remember. Who wrote that song, Eve of Destruction?
Barry Sadler.
No, Barry Sadler did Ballad of the Green Berets.
Barry McGuire.
Barry McGuire sang it. P.F. Sloan wrote it. Folk trivia. You're going to press your friends at parties now. P.F. Sloan also wrote a bunch of songs Barry McGuire recorded, like The Sins of the Family Fall on the Daughter. He should do it with the Pope, yeah. Yeah. I was fooling around. I have a friend who's a friend. He's a brother-in-law, but he's also a friend. In Miami, and he's a lawyer, and he was dealing with some of the rap cases down there, the obscenity cases, and he had like transcripts of some of like Two Live Crew stuff, and I was so tempted to just kind of put like this kind of music to it. In the hood. But I mean, it was stuff that I really couldn't do at a folk club. Thank you. This is one I wrote in. I wrote this up on Moosehead Lake, the northern tip of Moosehead Lake. I don't know why. A friend of mine has a cabin there. I went up to write. There's like no electricity or any of that stuff. So I brought my boom box so I could get the Red Sox games. And I fished. And I wrote. It wasn't too bad a week, actually. But my guitar stayed in tune a lot more up there. Hang on. See, that says it's in, but the electronics are lying. Well, there you go, guys. I was right all along. I kept my promise. Don't keep your distance. Bill Vita. The movie about my affair with Juan Perón. I just grossed myself out. Oh my God. Scared myself. Home from the road to a house on the lake, thinking you'd be home. That was my mistake. Away from the stage, away from the crowd, I couldn't empty house sound so awful loud. As long as the sun gonna rise in the east, trouble's gonna come when you expect it least. As long as the sun dries the morning dew, I'll be waiting here, I'll be missing you. Get up at dawn and I launch my boat. I drift around the lake and I read your note. It says you could not stay. It says it very plain. And I looked, but there was no tear stain. As long as the sun gonna rise in the east, trouble's gonna come when you expect it least. As long as the sun dries the morning dew, I'll be waiting here, I'll be missing you. Well, I drift all day till I can't drift no more. So I put that boat up on the shore. I walk inside and don't know what to do. But now I think I know something you know too. As long as the sun gonna rise in the east, trouble's gonna come when you expect it least. As long as the sun dries the morning dew, I'll be waiting here, I'll be missing you.